Okay, this is just a quick update on the ATM system. This is from Friday. This happened to be options expiration Friday, and usually options expiration, you never know what you're going to get on options expiration. It can usually be a real tight, kind of constricted type of day, and sometimes it can be a day where the market picks a direction and kind of stays with that direction um, through most of the day. Well, you really don't know what you're going to get. Some people will just step aside and not trade options expiration because they go over their numbers month after month and see that options expiration typically isn't worth it for them to trade. But really, what I wanted to do is just kind of show you on a kind of one of those options expirations. How the ATM system kind of handled the day. Um, and basically, the ATM system, it's got just a few parts. This is the ATM line with the momentum. The green bars represent positive momentum. The red bars here, negative momentum. And this is more of kind of a momentum-based system where we want to go with the momentum, and whether it's down or up. And then we've got our trend line here, and our trend line basically it's where everything happens for us. So when price comes into the trend line, we're going to pay attention because we may be have an opportunity to go long or short. But you can kind of see, let's see, it looks like the open was somewhere back here on Friday, and so price was away from our trend line, so we're not looking at doing anything until it comes into the trend line here. And I'll just kind of show you. I won't show you the setups yet, but just kind of look. When price comes into the line, okay, that's when things tend to move away from the line. When it comes into the line, okay, things move away from the line. Okay, comes into the line here, didn't get much of a move there, but look, then it again moves up off the line, comes back into the line. Now this is lunchtime here. You can kind of see that consolidation. You come out of lunchtime, after 1 o'clock here. Okay, price moves away from the line again, comes into the line. You got a little bit of move away, comes into the line again, pushes away, into the line, pushes. Okay, and here's the close of the day here. So what we're doing, we want to take advantage of those opportunities where price comes into the line and then is going to move away from the line, but we want to do it in the right direction. We want to have at least have the momentum with us. So let me just kind of go back here. So really the first potential setup that we had, now the trend is up. We always want to see, the trend is up here, starts to flatten out here. If we're going to go counter to that uptrend, we're going to wait a couple of bars. We want to see that first red bar cross and close below the trend line here. And since we're going against the trend, if we're going to go counter trend, we've got to wait 2 bars. As long as the second bar closes below our trend line, then we're going to set up a short trade. And we've got to look at our ATM line here. Everything's red, momentum is red, the ATM line here is red. So we can go short, but we're going to set up a short to go short a couple of ticks below the low of this first bar here, or this second bar here. So our short would be in here. It never got hit. So we've got to wait now for price to come back into the line and close either above it or a red bar below it. So here we come back into the line. We didn't get this. We want to see this first blue bar split the line. We didn't get that. We got the second one, but you can still see how when price comes through the line, it tends to continue in that direction, and that was a nice move up there. Here we got price to come into the line. Now the first red bar didn't come into the line, so we're not looking short. But then we get this first blue bar after a succession of red bars does split the line here. Let me move this up a little. Okay, so it opens here, it closed up here, split the line like we want. It's going with the trend, so we can actually go long right at the close of this bar. We don't have to wait the 2 bars. You can if you want. And then our stop is going to be a couple of ticks below the low. If you're going to wait the 2 bars, you're going to go long 2 ticks above, Going to place a stop 2 ticks below here, and then let that play out. And we're going to go, as long as the momentum is with us, our ATM line is blue with positive momentum. So we're going to at least try to take 10 points out on the first part of our, if you've got multiple contracts in the first part, we call the scout part of the trade. We're trying to look for 10 points, or if the momentum pulls back. If we get a pullback in the momentum, 2 consecutive pullbacks in momentum, which you kind of got here, it's pretty close. These are pretty even. Um, but anyway, we're going to exit part of the position there, or you can exit all of the position. Anyway, it was about 10 points there. Um, the second part of the position we can hold until the momentum closes red against us. So we're going to take some more off here, which is probably about another 10 or about 10 to 15 points from our entry here. And then the final exit, once these price filter bars that are blue, once they turn red, once it closes red, then we need to be out the final portion of our position. And then we see price kind of comes into the line again, but we don't get that first red bar to split the line. Again, here's that lunchtime period, so we want to kind of stay out of that, at least that 12 to 1 time period. Usually around 2 o'clock we'll come back, but here was happened to be after 1 o'clock. Got this first red bar to split the line. The second one closes below it. Okay, the trend was up, so we're going to wait the 2 bars, and we're going to go short a couple of ticks below the low of this bar with a stop a couple of ticks above here. And you can see on these setups, when you get these setups, rarely does this get threatened up here. You can see it pretty much just went in that direction. So you were able to take your 10 points out here. If you're holding with the momentum, it's stayed red this whole time until here, so you'd have to exit another part of the position here, and a final exit. You want to be out here when these red bars turn blue. And okay, here you had see how these blue bars came up, and you did get one to close above the line, but it wasn't the first blue bar, which is what we'd have to see, this first blue bar close. So we don't have anything there. You do have this red bar closes with the direction of the trend, closes below the bar or splits the trend line there. But the problem is the momentum is in the positive direction. Even if you waited the second bar and you wanted to go short there, it's still positive, so you've got to pass on that. Here you got a blue bar that splits the trend line. The trend is lower, so you got to wait two consecutive closes. Now you get a second bar to close above the line, but it's lower than the first. You generally want to see the second bar, at least make a higher high than the first. But even if you did, you get set up, 2 ticks above the high there to go long. It didn't get there. It was a tick away from it, but didn't make it, and then immediately came down, and this red bar split the trend here, split the trend line with the trend, so you could actually go. Well, we have to look at our ATM line here. Still blue, so we got to wait. Normally we could, if this was all red here, we could just go short on the close of this bar, but it didn't. So we got to wait the second one if we want to attempt a trade there. Did get that to turn red. Now we're going short 2 ticks below the low of this bar, which is low is 87, 387. So 385 we can go short. We would have gotten in here with a stop up here at 397 was the high here. So 399 would have been the stop there. But again, you can see how once it goes in this direction, your stop is never threatened. And you can do things like if you get your 10 points, you want to move your stop up to break even or whatever. Always trying to minimize your risk. But you can see it pretty much just goes in your favor here, at least till the you either get the couple of pullbacks in momentum, or the momentum bars close in the opposite direction. So you got to be out here, or once these red bars turn blue, that's the last portion of your trade. You should be out. Okay, and then there was nothing here to get long because we wanted to see this first blue bar close above the line. But you can see anytime price comes into the line, it tends to move then away from the line, and then here's into the close here. Anyway, so that's it. We'll do it again next week.